Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself, I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Just like all your local teams have been preparing in the offseason, JJ and I have prepared all offseason just for this. Our weight loss plan was basically built around just being able to eat today at Kenny J's.
No doubt.
1,000%. Here we are.
And it was so worth it.
Oh, it's so good. So, listen, we're going to make a commitment to you. I promise we're not going to eat that much while we're actually speaking. That's going to be our commitment to you.
So I can't promise that.
Oh, here goes JJ with another
my
bite.
gosh.
All right, fine. We're trying out a brand new menu item.
Potato skins.
What's
are
great
good.
is, and Kenny knows the history of sports in the state of Utah. He's one of the best, and so he did. It's potato skins with two Z's, like the Utah Jazz, like the Buzz, like all the sport, like the Stars, all the sports teams that have gone before here, and these are a brand new menu item. They're phenomenal. They're fried potato skins covered in bacon, cheese, sour cream. That smoky flavor is all over it, too. Oh, some diced white onion. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
well done.
I'm just going to say it right off the bat. It's our college football roundtable. Welcome to the program. It's bigger and better than it's ever been, and I'll tell you, at Kenny J's, it makes it even more fun for us because we're going to be having some amazing food. And they just rolled out to us something that we didn't know was going to happen, and we're so glad that it's happening because it's going to benefit our listeners out here. If you come into Kenny J's today, here at the District, just across from where the Megaplex Theater is, right here at the District in South Jordan, you come in and you mention the zone, you're going to get yourself a free banana pudding. You heard right? You heard right? Wait, can I say free on the radio? I can't remember what our, like, the rules, and it's legitimately free. There's nothing attached to it.
I just dipped a Biscoff cookie into the pudding.
Okay.
And it's about to go into my belly.
But see, again, this is what's great about this is no utensils required. You have the Biscoff cookie to do the scooping for you. And so free banana pudding for any of our zone listeners who come in and say, hey, the zone, just yell it at us. Our college football roundtable is going to go like this. We've got the next 3 hours packed for you of getting ready for this football season. Our aim is for you to be able to have all of the best information, to be the most knowledgeable in your friend group, sitting around the water cooler at work, and rolling your eyes at the people who have not done their homework and decided to dip in right now. So many storylines, JJ. Really, right out of the gate, there are so many things for us to jump into, but all of our colleagues are going to be on the air here with us. DJ and PK are going to join us. Hans and Scotty are going to join us. Jake and Ben are going to join us. And so it's going to be a full-on 3 packed hours. And we're streaming this thing live, of course, across our YouTube channel. We've got the camera set up here. Our fearless leader, Nate, has put up all the cameras, got all the lighting going on. I have not hit
Which is great because everybody can see this.
Yeah.
You've got to come try this.
It's not great for a guy who's bald. That's why I'm wearing a hat today. I was about to break out the MAC products and start hitting myself with some powder.
Well, you know I got you there. Anytime you need it, I got you covered.
JJ's the makeup guy at the zone, so we're excited about
I have no problem
with
that.
You're the makeup guy?
I've done it for 20 years.
Come on in, mention JJ, get a free banana pudding if you just call him the makeup guy. Come on in. Our program is always brought to you by G2G Bars. All natural ingredients and no preservatives make the G2G Bar the perfect protein bar. Let's get things kicked off here. Top of the program, tons to get into. Let's jump in here with The Cut.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
And, of course, The Cut, as always, this hour brought to you by the good folks at Trajan Wealth, TRAJANwealth.com, for all your trusted local needs in retirement. We're going to have a lot of things to discuss with all of our on-air pals here in a moment, JJ, and for the rest of the day. And I wanted to start things off with a couple of things that are Utah-centric. And when PK shows up, I'm gonna pepper him with a couple questions as well. But some of the things that we've been looking at from a sound perspective, I want you guys to hear some of these clips from some of these guys. And I want you to hear from Devin Dampier right off the bat here, because this is the biggest question mark, of course. I think the excitement level, I mean, it's hard not to get excited. I guess what's more important, JJ, is it's hard not to ignore the fact that last year was so bad. The last 2 years, injury-wise, have been so bad.
Yep.
You're the hoping for hope as a Utah fan is just so big time. Here's Devin Dampier on how he's confident in himself and this team and the running ability they have as a team and how excited he is about getting this thing going.
The run game is something that came natural to me just growing up. I'm never afraid to, pull that ball down and let's go get some yards. So I always tell everyone, I play to win games. So if using my legs is what happens to do that, then, I'm always going to take what's going to win us the game.
Devin Dampier. One, he's a great interview now, too. We really love listening to this kid. Have you heard him start to do some – he's doing some ads on the radio. He's doing some TV ads coming up here,
He's the new Culligan man.
He's the new water boy. He's taking over Colson Firmage's job. Sitting down with us here at Kenny J's as we get you going here. You just heard from Devin Dampier, our own Patrick Kinahan and David James. DJ and PK, nice enough to come by. Did you guys get your free banana pudding yet, or what's going on here? What do we?
I have not.
How long is it going to take for you to?
If you go to the counter and mention the zone, they'll give you a free pudding.
Alrighty then.
Let's do it. Let
that be a word of advice to everyone. Zone. There's a lady in a blue shirt making a break for it right now.
I know.
Yep.
All right. Well, we just heard right off the bat from Devin Dampier. We're going to go.
And when you guys talk about Devin, turn me on, man. I didn't come out all the way here to be
I got
silent.
you. It was just you can't hear
Wrong
yourself
with you
as well.
people.
I can turn you up so that you can hear yourself. I think it's a
You're making a
definite
big
situation.
deal about Devin Dampier.
Oh, okay.
How many times I got to tell you? Guys from Phoenix can talk.
Oh,
Okay, it's that simple.
Is
You
he a
ever meet
Phoenix guy?
From, absolutely.
oh, wow. What high school did he go to?
He went to
Pinnacle.
two of them. He went there and then I think he transferred to Saguaro, which is over in the Scottsdale area. I think it's the same school that Kenny Dillingham might have gone to over there, just a little old Scottsdale. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's a Phoenix guy, 100%.
Well, so he knows how to talk. He's got some confidence.
He's got charisma. He's got personality.
He really,
I like it.
and we've been talking about it, that it's the best I've seen for a Utah quarterback since Brian Johnson.
Oh, you know what? That's a great comp because I think that when you talk about a leadership style, like he's got that, right? He comes in, and everybody wants to have that question answered about your quarterback room, but what's the best version of this guy? Do you let him be that guy, DJ, that you run around, that you let him do his thing? It sounds like Kyle's willing to let him just kind of – they're like, no, that's a strong part of his game, but I know there's a lot of people who are apprehensive of hanging your hat on a guy who's got an extremely good running game. They want to also see the pass game get developed as well with this guy.
Here's the difference between me and Kyle Whittingham. One of us grew up with Air Coryell. And we feel good about seeing the ball thrown all over the place.
That was a coach in the early 60s.
Early 60s.
Yeah. That's a Hall of Famer.
There you go.
That is.
Yeah.
So was Bronco Nagurski. We didn't see him either.
Kyle likes running the ball. He's fine with the QB run game. When they've had quarterbacks who run the ball well, it's usually gone pretty well for them. And I think Devin's going to blow by the numbers the other guys turned in. Cam Rising was somewhere between 400 and 500 yards rushing both years.
Yeah.
That he started and stayed healthy. And Alex Smith was better than that. I think Brian Johnson, it depended on the year. He was all over the map. He ran more early than late.
Right.
But Kyle's had these quarterbacks who are 400, 500, 600-yard guys, and he's had success. Alex Smith goes in that neighborhood for running. I think he was the most productive of them. Undefeated season. Brian Johnson, undefeated season. Cam Rising, Rose Bowls. Kyle likes quarterbacks who can run.
Hey, he's going to have 200 yards alone against BYU.
Look at you.
Pulling out all the stops. Come on down.
Jay Hill's going to come over and take that pudding away.
Come on down. Mention PK's 200-yard rushing day for Devin Dampier. Get yourself a free banana pudding all day here at Kenny J's.
We're all about the banana pudding.
Look, at this point, I don't care what you mention. As long as you make some sort of a reference to the show, I'm going to be bringing out anything. I'm going to make you mention everything to be able to get these banana puddings. But, we put a lot of emphasis on
Banana
Devin Dampier
pudding.
and on banana pudding.
Hey, try it. You'll understand why.
Maybe in the break.
But I do want to know.
Really good.
Yeah, it hasn't stopped the rest of us from
PK's not
dipping
waiting.
in. Hasn't stopped the rest of us from
There we
dipping in. So what I want to know is though, there's one of the things that we've been focusing on so much in this offseason has been the new guys who are coming in, but obviously the offensive line, the non-new guys coming in. We talk about this being one of the best, if not the best, offensive line kind of conglomerate group that we've seen ever in Kyle Whittingham's time, and that's saying something for a guy who's put a lot of guys in the NFL. Is that overdoing it with the amount of talent that's right there?
We can certainly overdo it, and we've been guilty of that many times. I think what's more noticeable is we're doing it because Kyle's now said it multiple times.
Yeah.
He said it in his availability Monday. He does a press conference. He said it on the podium at the Big 12 media days. Jake Hatch, I think, asked the question about whether it was the best line in the country, and he didn't want to go there because he hadn't examined all the lines in the country. But what he could say is it's the best line he'd had. He said it intermittently in between there. So, I don't know, PK, how many times has Kyle told you something before the season started, and it turned out to be spot on?
Well, I mean, I think this is a no-brainer, though. I don't think this is a big out on the limb because the NFL has spoken. You got two – Fano's going to go top 10, top 5, depending on, what the team's needs are when we get to the end of the season and we see who is
Lomu could be a first-rounder guy himself at the end.
Yeah, and so then you got 3 seniors on the inside. So it's really – I don't think he's stretching it to go ahead and say this. And plus, what's the difference at his point? He's not trying to keep his job. He's not trying to politic or anything. He's just calling it as he sees it, and he wants to give his guys confidence because, last year was such a downer. So I see what he's doing. It's not that big of a reach given the experience. And particularly at Utah, if there's certain positions that if you are a multi-year starter, there's a good chance you're an NFL player.
Yeah.
And we know those positions. They're not receiver. They are interior lines on both sides, and then pretty much any of the 3 levels on defense.
Yep.
And obviously, if you're a big-time 2-3 year starter at running back, you're probably going to go to the NFL. I'm thinking, what was the last one? Zach Moss.
Yeah.
But there have been plenty of others.
Right there. Yeah.
Booker.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the most recent one. And so they're an NFL factory at certain positions. And offensive line is one of them. I mean, we would need a program to list all the guys that he's put into the NFL at that position. So I don't think it's a big reach that he says this. Now you have to go out and have that production. The running back's got to hit the holes, and all sorts of stuff has to happen.
So what gives you guys confidence that this offense that was 4th in the nation last year in New Mexico is going to translate to the Power 4 level?
Well, there are no guarantees, I'll say that, but I think the reason to be optimistic is that we have seen a lot of players translate from the FCS level and from the Group of 5 level to Power.
Yeah.
Scadaboo's the most recent one.
I have a Scadaboo chat.
The most recent draft, Cam Ward's the number 1
Cam
pick.
Ward,
right.
So he
and
went
look
to
what
3
Jay Hill's
schools.
done bringing the Weber guys to BYU. And
Jack Kelly's the best example right now,
Eddie
but there's
Heckard,
others. Right, yeah, there's plenty of others. And I think that if you start looking into guys, Iowa State lost 2 receivers to the NFL. They hit the transfer portal. Now I'm trying to remember if it was Iowa State or K-State, but one of them had a receiver at a big game, and he was a MAC guy last year. I think he was at Ball State.
Well,
one of the receivers in that game, and I'm blanking on which one it was.
And
it happens all the time.
There's a MAC guy, or no, it was like somebody in the Big 12 is hanging their hat on this receiver out of Lindenwood, and they're like, he's 6'5", he's 230, and you're like, it's Lindenwood.
Is that?
They don't recruit high schools anymore. They're recruiting other colleges.
It's Texas Tech, and Lindenwood is where, in Kansas or something like that. And I think that they were
Missouri.
But again, they're like, hey, they're bringing these guys in, and you could have 0 stars and cut your teeth at the FCS level. That's the new high school level of recruiting guys.
I think it is, obviously, and we were talking about that this morning. You can hear us if you want from 6 to 10. We've been doing it for a few years now.
Tonight it's 10 p.m., by the way.
To JJ's point, can it recreate what it did at New Mexico? No. But does it need to be successful? No.
Right.
It needs – Kyle's offenses historically, are they good enough? Because the other side's going to be okay. And you even look at last year, they had nothing going. A first down was cause for celebration and fireworks, right? And the defense still played pretty well. You look at the scores, they were within a score or maybe 10 points of winning just about all those games in that 7-game losing streak. Eventually you kind of wear out a little bit. So the offense just has to – it doesn't need to be if it's New Mexico-like, well, then they're going to be really good. They're going to win 10 games. And that 10 games is always my standard. I never anything above that is awesome. And 10 games I think is awesome. And 10 games most likely to get you into the conference final because assuming you go 3-0 in the non-conference, that means you're going to be 7-2.
Sure.
And maybe you even get actually get more than that. It would be conceivable.
Boy, the commissioner really hopes that they don't have a mess at the top of a bunch of two-loss teams.
You can't have 4 7-2 teams again for the Big 12. That's not what this conference needs right now.
It doesn't, but I think that they shouldn't run from that. They need to. Yeah, you want the 8-1s facing off, or 9-0 and 8-1. That's the dream scenario. But I also think that there's something to be said for good, even better, great competition a lot. I can't say every week because you never know what's going to happen. And so maybe they need to play that up a little bit more. Hey, we don't have a Purdue. We don't have a fill in the blank. We don't have a UCLA. Like some of these teams, we don't have a Rutgers. Some of these teams that suck at the bottom of the Big Ten, right? Maybe they need to point, and not literally at the bottom. I mean, sort of like almost in the middle down. So the strength of the conference, he needs to politic more if it comes to that. Obviously, you want the 8-1, 9-0s to get in there. That would be great. Have 2 top 10 teams ranked because the most likely they'll both get in. But if you don't, politic. It was 1 year. When Mac Brown was just politicking like nobody's business. You thought he could have been a politician for
he probably will be.
One of the spots when he was at Texas.
He'll be the next
Cal was up
Tuberville.
there, and Cal didn't get in because Mac Brown was just politicking like crazy, and Cal got stuck in the Holiday Bowl, which we used to think as a reward, and then they came out totally flat because they didn't want to be there, that type of thing.
Thought they were gonna be in the rows.
So if it comes to that, JJ, go ahead and talk about how deep we are. I mean, you have to spin it positive, and I think that's a legitimate, if it comes to that, recognizing that you don't want it to come to that.
You know, it was interesting. You pulled out of Wayshawn Parker the answer about the 1,000-yard rushing season, and then you brought it up to Kyle again. Like, hey, he says he's going to get that 1,000-yard rushing season. I like this running back room. Is there room for we had this discussion about how it doesn't happen very often, but it does actually happen. 1,000-yard rusher at the quarterback spot, 1,000-yard rusher in the backfield.
It could happen, but I think to PK's point, that's the thing when he was just saying to JJ, they don't have to have it.
Yeah.
You know, if the defense is even 80 to 90% of what they usually are, if they have a 1,000-yard running back and the quarterback runs for 750, if they're not a turnover machine, they're probably looking at 9, 10, 11 wins. You know,
Right.
how do they handle close
11
games?
wins, DJ just called it. Did you guys hear that?
Hey, go up to the counter here.
11 wins, get a free pudding at KJ's barbecue.
If you edit out 9 and 10, I did.
That's easy to do.
Hey,
Clearly,
listen,
you do
we
it
got
on a
some-
regular basis.
We got some talented producers back at the station. They'll figure it out.
I did have a conversation. You know, the media is not allowed in, but they allow former players in. And given these two coaching staffs and when the guys played, you can imagine how many former players know somebody at these schools. And one person did say that the U is who you think they are, except maybe that the Tanavasa loss. What do they have behind him? Are they as good at the D-line as they've been? Can you count on it? He says maybe they'll be that, but until they see a game. And he said, because he's been to both schools, he said, Tanavasa, this is awesome.
Wow.
Whoever gets him, and it turns out BYU gets him, right? Whoever gets him, like Tanavasa, like that guy, like that guy's a big Tanavasa fan. And so do the Utes have that? His take, I thought that was interesting. He told me, he said the vibe when you go there, because it's practice, it's not games, and so he's careful not to get too positive or negative based on practice. He said the thing you sense is Kalani's got the aloha spirit going to BYU, and it does feel like
that goodbye or hello?
Really excellent question. And it feels like everyone's pulling one direction. There's real. This is a team, like if they get going, they're going to talk about the chemistry. He just says you just know what the October interviews are going to sound like when talking to me. You guys, go talk to him. He says at Utah they don't have that. What you sense there is real competition. That they got a lot of new guys, and everybody's got to earn their spot, and everybody's competing, with Kyle's personality.
That's actually a great environment, though. I mean, like
it could be, yeah.
The guys who are trying to impress that guy. I mean, Kyle Whittingham is is a figure. I mean, I love that people ask him, what's the identity of this football team this year? And I'm like, it's the way it is freaking every year.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's the exact same thing every year. And by the way, he's asking these guys to do his way, not the other way around, right? Or the Utah way, which is why people like Devin Dampier, because he goes, I'm buying in 100% on what Kyle Whittingham does, and that's why they like him so much.
I think we all expect Utah to bounce back in some way, shape, or form, right? They're not going to go 5-7 with the
I don't think
talent
so.
they
I've been
have.
saying that they're not. This isn't a bounce back because they never went away.
Right.
They just had some injuries and it caught them short.
Exactly.
But I don't. I expect them minimum 8, 9, 10. I hardly ever pick a team to go 11. But I get your point, DJ. And I wouldn't be shocked because this is a program that's in a good spot. And I realized last year got south in a hurry. But so what?
I feel like all these predictions require like a 2-game swing because not only are there things that we don't know about both the local teams, there's a bunch of stuff that we don't know about their opponents either. So are they going to be able to make a play? You know, the example last season, PK always loves this example, is it the SMU game? Why were they still alternating quarterbacks when it was clear to some, radio dude from Utah which quarterback was a better one? But
a former newspaper guy is the way I like to look at it.
How about a multimedia
esteemed journalist?
How about a multimedia legend? There, would you go for that? Okay,
I'm comfortable with that.
A multimedia legend is up in the press box with no knowledge as SMU, but he doesn't feel loyalty to a guy. He doesn't feel like he has to give a guy another shot. He's like, well, that's clearly the better guy.
Yeah.
But they have some loyalty to the guy and feel like they have to give him one more drive and one more drive. Well, maybe those 2 drives could have been the difference in the game, right? You gave BYU a pass on a couple of drives. Like, that defense can shut that guy down for sure.
I think they're pretty aware down in Provo how 8-4 could have been easily what had happened last year. And by the way, they would have been excited about it.
That's back to JJ's point about, are we going to have 4 teams at 7-2? That just may be how the league is.
Yeah.
Because you don't have extraordinary advantages in, football legacy and even in money, right? I mean, BYU suddenly got all this money and it's all different. Well, Texas Tech suddenly has all this
How
money.
about 4 teams at 10-2?
Yeah.
Does that do it for you?
That's a different conversation. Yeah.
Well, it's very different because if their 2 losses are in conference versus 1 loss outside of
To
that
even
conference
be
play.
considered for a playoff, don't you at least have to be 10-2?
In the Big 12.
Yes.
Like Alabama's considered at
For an
9-3.
at-large berth,
Right.
yeah. I get your
They were
point.
You
considered,
can't
but they
have
didn't,
more
they
than
didn't
2
get it.
losses to even dream of it if you're in the
No,
Big
no.
12.
There's no room, by the way. The ACC
and this league needs 2 teams in this year.
for sure. Well,
And
here's
then-
the thing: is
And they better have 8-1 versus 8-1. They
no,
better have
that's
11-1
exactly right.
versus 11-1.
Or maybe even that crazy undefeated team, because otherwise, if the ACC and the Big 12 are going to put in, one of those conferences is going to put in a pair of teams a year, and you got to steal that other one away from the ACC. SMU, you look at and you go, really, is that who ended up going in? And that was the pick that they had as a committee. But now they're making all these adjustments to what the metrics are going to be, and then you go, are they just going to sneak in a backdoor 9-3 Alabama team into the future? Is that why they made these adjustments? And then you go, you might only get one in the 12-team playoff. You might only get one in this version of this from the ACC and maybe even only one from the Big 12, because then they'll put another Big 10 team in or another SEC team in. In the 5+11 model that they're going to end up going to, everyone's worried that this is going to end up being a 4 teams from both of those 2 big conferences, and then you got to fight over, all the rest. And and they're happy with you guys having a half or a third of how many picks that they get.
Man, I don't see it. I think there'll be an outroar. I know it sounds good.
An outroar? That's like an outrage and a roar together. It would be an outroar.
You know what I mean? I think there'll be just.
There'll be outrage.
Yeah.
There'll be a roar.
By
There'll
whom?
be an outroar.
By whom?
Go
Because-
with it. It's
because
a new word,
I
but
think-
go with it.
I think
It works.
the public will be outroared.
I think we got a new.
I
think we got a new code word.
Come on, say uproar.
If you say
Or outroar.
say zone or outroar and get banana pudding.
I seriously think if that happens, and a couple of those SEC or Big 12, Big 10 teams
yeah.
have losses to some 1 or 2 win team, like losing to
Your Northern Illinois from Notre Dame last year, maybe.
or Vanderbilt with
Alabama.
Alabama. I really think there'll be an outrage.
An
Had a
upright
kid.
All
Had
right.
a kid.
Hey,
But
listen.
Alex, I think you're right. I think that's why those rules were there. The rules, they're tweaking the rules so that they can look at the coaching like, you get 10-2, you're going to be in because you're going to have to win big games. You're going to get credit for
No.
it. All the 10-2s will be in the SEC, and then the 9-3s will be maybes.
Well,
depending on the year.
JJ brought it up. He's like, look, why did they make these adjustments every year? BYU winning a national championship in '84 was too much for the big guys. The BCS got busted too many times by teams that were not part of the club. And so there's that part of me. I hope that there's an outroaring uprigging of fans. I hope people are up in arms.
Maybe a bunch
All
of
of
people
those
will be PO'd.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope there's you march on the NCAA office. No, they don't do anything anymore. You march on the Gaylord Hotel there in Great
I
Mount,
don't
Texas,
have any
where they all
more room.
meet.
I'm already filled up on my marching stuff on the weekends. I got nothing left. I got no more room.
All right, we're going to take our first break. We've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to talk about year 21 with Kyle Whittingham and what that looks like. And anytime PK's around, I try to force something out of him that he had in a personal conversation with Kyle Whittingham. It never really works, but, you might get a little wink and a nod about what this 21st year looks like from Kyle Whittingham as he goes in and tries to right that ship. He called it a debacle multiple times. A debacle multiple times. He's like, I don't know if it's a debacle, I guess. He said it to us at Big 12 Media Day. Said it again this week. So he has a definite – like he might say, I haven't really thought about it. It was kind of a debacle last year. It was an absolute embarrassment for him the way he felt because it wasn't fun, and that was a big deal. We'll take another break here. We'll come back. We've got more to go. Come down and get that free banana pudding by mentioning the zone. Throw a rib or two on there. Get a slice of the brisket or two, and let's get that thing going and come try it out. It's at the District here in South Jordan. If you know where the Megaplex is, just across from that roundabout, it's a big piece of that roundabout right here in front of the movie theater, in front of Megaplex. So come down. You'll see our flags out here in front. We're going to be going all day long here. It's our college football roundtable brought to you by Kenny J's. Let's keep this thing rolling here. More to go. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Nobody gets you ready for Utah football more than the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready?
It's a trip to the Rose Bowl for the Utes as they open the season this Saturday at UCLA. Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You're locked on to JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex, Kirry, Jeremiah Jensen, David James, Patrick Kinahan, DJ and PK, nice enough to hang out with us here on our college football roundtable. Good thing to get kicked off here with. And we've been talking a lot of Utah right at the front end here, and it's appropriate that PK is going to be making that trip down to L.A. this weekend for that Utah and UCLA game. And it's been interesting to kind of watch the back and forth while everybody else is playing, your FCS programs, your Portland States and your directional state universities and fill-in-the-blank colleges. Fine. Utah goes back to a place that they have had a lot of success, down at the Rose Bowl, taking on this UCLA team, a team that they've beaten a lot down in that building more often than not recently. And I'm interested. It's an intriguing quarterback matchup with Nico figuring it out, taking a pay cut to go to UCLA because he loves UCLA so much. I'm sure. That's how it worked out for him. And then Devin Dampier, obviously Utah's quarterback. It's going to be talked about all weekend long, and everybody's going to be wondering about this one. But I've got to play something from Kyle Whittingham here right off the bat because I'm going to ask about his tenure, and of course as he's going into year 21 as the head coach. We talked about it, JJ, last week. He's the 5th winningest active FBS coach. Bronco Mendenhall happens to be the 6th active winningest FBS coach, and so it's crazy to think that because I think we look at Broncos being pretty young, but they started the same exact time, the head coaching gigs, right?
Yeah, and then Bronco took a year off or 2 years?
I don't know if it was 2 maybe. Yeah, it was 2
years.
It was right there.
And they're such best of friends, too. That's what's cool.
Yeah.
No way, Bronco. I love a kidney.
That's DJ's response of when I'm sarcastic, in case you're wondering.
He'll say, "No way, Bronco." No way, Bronco. I'm telling you, this is we're at Kenny J's, and they just rolled out. I'm glad they did it. You know what? I'm glad they did it at the beginning of the break.
Talk about distractions.
Oh, wow.
I'm glad they did it at the beginning of the break.
Boys, handle
Hey, we got video here. Grab one of those plates real quick.
Oh, actually, you know what? You should put Joey. We should put these plates right here too.
We got cameras here. We got to show this off.
We got it. I mean, there's no reason we can't.
Oh my gosh!
This is pretty.
Is this going to be as good as the banana pudding? Because I told you I was sampling the last break.
What do
You
guys
do not
eating?
get this free with the zone.
This tray's mine, so what do you guys have?
Yeah, right. Look, you guys could have.
I got
you got
snagged
the
one of
sausage
those.
down there?
Stop. I shouldn't have done this. Yeah, now we're handing out plates.
Some sausage.
I'll tell you what. You know what, Stone? This is your fault. This is your gear that you got to babysit.
man.
So you're the one handing out all the food.
Let the games begin.
All right.
This is not Stone's fault. This is one of Stone's greatest career successes. Way to go. There'll be a little something extra in your Christmas check,
There
Stone.
you go. I've got to get through a freaking radio show here.
Oh, you're the man, Stone.
All right, here's what we got.
Put it right in front of the camera. Now my head will be popping in front of the camera.
I'm going to look what this. I'm going to see what this meat
Just
plate
be
looks
whatever
like
you
on,
are. Be long.
Yeah. I've got a couple questions here. I'm going to play a 9-minute Kyle Whittingham press conference right here. Now, going into year 21, and what version of Kyle Whittingham we're going to get this year is the same guy that I think. But I think that you've seen, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, but after he made mention of, I probably won't be around for that. I'm not going to be here at that game, that Miami-Utah game in Las Vegas. Everyone freaked out. It was meltdown city, and then people put a clock on, and they're like, all right, when does this thing run out? When's he going to be done? When does he want to be done? And he's backed way off of that conversation now. He's gone straight to, look, I'm having fun here. Last year wasn't fun. It was a debacle. If they're having fun, is there any reason to believe that he wouldn't just keep this thing going until he's not having fun anymore? Or at some point he's going to do the thing where he's going to step away and let Morgan Scalley take over. But what version are we getting of this Kyle Whittingham year 21, and what has he learned even just last year in his 20th year that's gotten him to this point?
Don't get your quarterback hurt in the second game.
Don't have your quarterback run.
Oops.
Anyway,
this quarterback will be
Devin
running
Dampier.
in the second game.
But he's way faster.
Okay.
That's a good point.
I think with Kyle, and I may have discussed it a time or two, that it is a situation where when time is running out, whatever you love harder, because you're not going to be doing it that much longer. Whatever it is. And we've had it in personal relationships. My dog, I wanted to hold him like 24/7 when I knew that time was really short, and you value it way more. And I think that's where we are with him. He could go another year or two, or this could be it. He'll have to make that decision. But as far as him being able to give the effort that he needs to give and what it means to him, it means more than ever right now. Because he's going to go down. He's already the winningest coach in Utah football history, right? So there's going to be some form of legacy. I don't know if it's a statue or what. And so many guys, he's not really of that age yet, but guys or a little older than him who continue, it always seems to go south. And he is determined that that's not going to happen.
If I want to jump in on a short soundbite here. Not enough of a soundbite for us to eat a full meal on, but we can get a couple.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, this dude.
It's my cue to grab a rib.
Just play the live version of Stairway to Heaven or something.
Oh my gosh, it's
we start dipping into the Arrows playlist on some wild some Pink Floyd. And let's jump into what Kyle Whittingham said about. He was asked the age-old question about the team's identity, and Kyle Whittingham's not going to stray very far from these usual answers, but he looks good. He looks like he's ready to do this thing, and I know that we talk about his age a lot, but this is a guy who looks in as good a shape as we've seen in a long time, and he's loving this thing, and he's brought the long hair back. Here's what he said about this year's team identity.
There's a lot of new faces, I can tell you that. So 50% of the guys we got weren't a part of what went on last year. But we're excited about the things we're doing on offense. It's a new scheme and new quarterback and hopefully some good stuff there. Defense has been very solid all through fall camp. But you never know what you're going to get until you line up and play somebody else. You can only learn so much playing against yourselves. But I know our guys that were here last year and went through that debacle, I guess, for lack of a better word, are excited to get back on the field and get going and try to make a better showing.
Officially a debacle from last year. I know that people want to know, too. I asked the very question at the top about how much you're going to see design quarterback runs, and I'm glad that he is not running away from the fact that Devin Dampier does run the football, and that's one of his strengths. Here's what he said about design runs versus improv runs for Dampier.
He's very elusive breaking the pocket, I can tell you right now, so it might be close to 50-50 in that regard as far as design pure QB runs and him just getting out of jams. I'll say 50-50. That's a safe starting point.
Getting out of jams, that'll equal a couple of games probably getting to that 100-yard mark probably for him. But I think in year 21, what do you like about Kyle Whittingham and what he's doing? And PK, I'm not asking you to reveal anything because maybe he doesn't really know yet necessarily, but how long does he want to keep doing this? And will this year's outcome determine whether or not what the future really looks like for Kyle Whittingham?
Yeah, I think it can. I definitely think it can because, I've talked to him about it, obviously, and he's got grandkids, and he missed stuff with his kids. I literally know this because I did it too.
I was going to say you missed the same events probably.
Literally. It's why they're so.
Yes, yeah. So I know of this. We've been there. We've been there together, and so he's got grandkids coming up. I think he's got 10. And
wow.
the oldest ones are getting older. Obviously, we're all getting older, and he doesn't want to miss that, and he wants to be involved, and he wants to do other things. And sometimes the job can get in the way, obviously, because there's a lot of time on the road recruiting and during the season, and even home games. If your kid happens to be playing Little League football, you got to be at the stadium at 10 in the morning, and you end up being on the phone, and your wife is describing what's going on. I mean, I just know that. And
BK's kid just dropped the ball. That's the play-by-play.
So, yeah, well, why is he on this team? So with that in mind, there's other things. And his dad died at 64.
Yeah.
And that is a profound impact.
Is that where he's at right now, by the way?
He'll be 66 in April.
Okay,
66 in November.
Okay.
And so he is cognizant of that. We talked on his 64th birthday about how sobering it was for him, because that's literally the age his father died. And his father then didn't get that opportunity with his kids. And so he wants to have that opportunity with his grandkids. And he said on our air, Alex, you were right there. He said, last year was so bad I couldn't go out on that, which obviously then leads to the flip side. Well, if it's a great season and you couldn't go out on a bad one, well, then maybe you can go out on a good one.
If you have a good one, bad one, and you don't go out on a good one,
when are you going to go out?
What's the plan?
But the paycheck, the money keeps going up too. And Kyle, like DJ, he loves his money.
Hey, but you win and those numbers go up even more.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that's also for DJ too.
Why was everyone laughing?
like every person ever born. Yeah, I mean, he got in the Rose Bowl. I think it was $650,000 each year bonuses.
Crazy.
It's nice.
Yeah. Which was like the
starting that's a lot of banana pudding.
Yeah. Mention $650,000, get yourself a free banana pudding right here at the Kenny J's. Let's take another break here. We'll come back, and we've got the sides showed up too. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that all this food's sitting right here in front of us.
It has to be eaten.
It's got to get. You know what though? We got a good crew here, and I think we could take a big dent out of it. So let's get this thing going. We're at Kenny J's here at the District, just across from the Megaplex Theater, inside that roundabout that gets you to the movie theater, and this is the heart of it right here at the District in South Jordan. So come check it out for yourself. Dip in on some of this, man. Come give it a shot. Are the potato skins officially on the menu too? Okay, all right. So we weren't just like we weren't your test subjects. Okay, you guys had done a lot of testing already because they were really good. Oh, good, he got them right here. Well, let's take a break. We'll come back. We've got more to go right around the corner at Kenny J's. It's our college football roundtable, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.
Let's go! Complete game coverage of the Cougars is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. The Cougars open the season at home at LaBelle Edwards Stadium as they welcome in Portland State. Your home for the best coverage of Cougar football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You're locked on to JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. It's our college football roundtable. It's our annual get-together of all the on-air staff here at the KSL Sports Zone. We get together. We have some food. We invite you to come enjoy it with us, and then we talk some college football. We've got lots that we're dipping into this hour. We have a lot to still cover the rest of the way here. And so if you want to come down and grab something to eat and then listen to the show here live and watch it live, you can also stream it live. Oh, boy, all the different things. The KSL Plus app, the KSLSports.com. You can go to our YouTube KSL Sports channel. You can also go to the KSL Sports Twitter page and get yourself the live stream as well. The setup is great, and you can see the food, but don't just see it. We don't have smell-o-vision. I know this feels like something we should have had by 2025. We were told when we were younger.
There's an idea.
It was supposed to be here, but we haven't seen it yet. Flying cars and smell-o-vision, it's not happening yet. So get in your regular car and come down and get some real food right here at Kenny J's. The barbecue is legit, so get yourself going on this thing. DJ, before we let you off the hook here. We didn't get to chat anything with you and PK about BYU yet. What do you do with Bear Bachmeier this first week? Like, how do you handle it? Do you get him to the third quarter, and if it's a blowout, pull him, or do you just want every second and every play you can get with this kid as a true freshman?
I would think that you don't baby him at all this game. You push it. This is a great game to make mistakes and still know you're going to overcome them. This team got blown out at home by Tarleton State, who plays in the WAC with Utah Tech and Southern Utah. So there's a massive talent gap here. So I wouldn't try to baby him. I would try to, have him push the ball down the field. That's what A-Rod loves anyway, right? And ask him to make plays. And if he throws a pick, that's a learning experience. If they don't get a playoff, that's a learning experience. I would push him, challenge him, because this is the – PK and I were talking about this morning. This is literally the worst opponent he will play in football the rest of his life.
He's right.
Every other team – I mean,
they're not just FCS, they're bad FCS.
They're bad FCS. So even with a money game going forward, I would bet that those money games are against better competition than they're going to see. And I'm not sure off the top of my head what their money games are.
Yeah.
I think they're playing Utah
They
Tech.
got Utah Tech
Utah
next year, and Southern Utah, and Weber probably in there. So, and the same cast of characters we're going to see Utah playing as well.
DJ, I agree. If you're good enough to win the starting quarterback job at BYU, whether you're a senior or a freshman, there's an expectation that you can go out there and do what they expect you to do and ask you to do. They don't care if you're a freshman. You're going to make mistakes. We've seen senior quarterbacks make mistakes. Max Hall made mistakes. He was still great. So why hold back? Why worry about it? Just if he's the best player at that position on your roster, roll him out there and live with the results.
Stanford will be coming to BYU for only the second time ever. The last time they came was the famous win by 9, not by 2.
Yes.
If you're in a close game against an ACC school, even if it's a bad Stanford team, it's going to be near the bottom of the ACC, and obviously they've already lost at Hawaii. You got to win that game, so you got to play that game to win that game, and maybe you can't push him in that game the same way. But in week 1, push him, make him do the difficult things.
I was talking to Mitch Harper about this yesterday. We did our Big 12 show last night, and he talked with Hank Bachmeier. He called up Hank and was asking him about, what he thought. And he said, and he goes, look, I'm just going to ask BYU fans to just be patient because things do not – I love it. See?
It's his brother.
Listen,
no, I agree with Hank. I just don't think it's realistic.
I know.
That was a laugh because fans are unreasonable.
No one's gonna be patient.
But that's what I'm saying.
Been patient with it. When's the last BYU quarterback who received patience?
Not one.
Robbie Bosco had the best line, and you don't remember, when you do as many interviews over as many years, right? But I will never forget him coming on the radio, and I think Federick was the quarterback. I'm pretty sure, and he was getting booed. And there was something happened, and they were ahead, but he threw a pick or something, and they're booing, but they're winning. And there were some players on the sideline, Federick included, and there was some, I don't remember the details, but some conversation. I don't know if Federick was listening or if teammates were talking or if Federick was. But Bosco shut the whole thing down with, they booed me. We were undefeated.
Yeah.
You came here. That's what you signed up for.
Yeah.
So, and then now, on the next series, here's what we're going to do. Just you don't have time for this.
Yep.
Yeah, people are going to be critical. If the undefeated guy gets booed, then everybody gets booed.
Yep.
Next, what are we doing on this next series? Where are we attacking?
All right, so there you go.
It's the right attitude.
So
right
Bear
approach.
Bachmeier, grow up, kid. You're going to get booed, all right? You're going to get booed this weekend, maybe. Probably not this weekend. No. But it's interesting to see what the expectations are going to be.
Well, you say that, but the last time Portland State came to town, I think BYU fans booed.
Well, I wish we had time to get to that. Because
that 2017 year was –
that was a barometer. That told us something about that team. We should have been paying attention.
And arguably one of the 4 worst games home games in BYU history.
I agree.
One was
in the modern history. Since
one was later that year against UMass when they lost at homecoming.
I was thinking about that one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Come down to Kenny J's. Come check it out. We're at the District, right across from the Megaplex Theater, right in that same roundabout. You'll see all the flags up and everything. Our college football roundtable continues. Jake Scott's going to jump in and join us as well. Stay here, 97.5 BKSL Sports Zone.